Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with yet another story for you. This one is from AITA and is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Making Cinnamon Bread for My Sisters-in-Law When My Mother-in-Law is Allergic to Cinnamon? I, female 22, have jumped on the sourdough bread train. Hey, oh, real broad. I now make the bread we eat instead of buying it. And when I make a loaf of bread, I post a picture of it and post it on my story. I've had several people slide up and say they would love a loaf, including my in-laws. Right now, we are home visiting our family. I brought my starter and baking supplies to make loaves for the family who have asked while staying at my mom's. For my in-laws, I made 3 loaves. The sister-in-laws, high school age, wanted a cinnamon swirl loaf, so that's what I made for them. My mother-in-law says she's allergic to cinnamon, so I made her 2 small loaves, regular and cheddar jalapeno. There we go. She did make something for mother-in-law. She didn't just say, screw you. I baked her loaves first to avoid any cross-contamination, and I wrapped the cinnamon loaf and put it in its own container separate from the loaves that would go to mother-in-law. When I dropped them off, I made sure to tell them that one loaf was cinnamon. Okay. Took every precaution, was very careful, made her something different, made her 2 somethings different. Like I feel like went above and beyond right now. Today, while we were there, mother-in-law cut herself a slice of the cinnamon bread saying she wanted to taste it. All of us said that she really shouldn't since she's allergic to cinnamon. She said she would avoid the cinnamon swirl and just eat the plain bread. After more protest, it was clear that she was not going to listen. She ate it, said it was good, and cut another slice. After a while, nothing happened. My husband and I assumed that maybe she isn't as allergic as she thought and everything was fine. We went back to my mom's house, and an hour later, both of our phones started blowing up. Mother-in-law says I gave her horrible diarrhea with my nasty bread, and is now claiming that I tried to poison her by giving them bread that has cinnamon in it. What? What? Hold up. So you, OP, not only made her other kinds of bread because she's allergic to cinnamon, made sure you labeled and identified which one had cinnamon in it so she wouldn't get into it, and then when she was talking about wanting to taste the cinnamon bread and cutting herself slices, everybody there is like, don't do it. And she's like, I'll stay away from the cinnamon swirl. Eats it, and then is like, yummy, I want another slice. And you're like, no. And she's like, yes. And she does it anyway. And then she gets sick and she's like, I blame you. What? I don't think that's how life works, mother-in-law. We may have to hit the bizzo button here. My husband has pressed that I did everything that I needed to do to keep the bread separate and that eating the cinnamon bread was 100% her choice. She and now my husband's grandma are adamant that I shouldn't have brought cinnamon bread into the house at all, and I should have just told my sister-in-laws no. I thought bringing it would be fine. I've been there plenty of times when sister-in-laws had cinnamon rolls on the stove or snickerdoodle cookies in a jar. I assumed that she wouldn't even touch the container because as far as I had seen, she didn't touch the other stuff. OP, there's no way that you could have known that your cinnamon swirl bread was your mother-in-law's kryptonite because you've never been in this scenario before. There's no way that you could have known that she was going to throw caution to the wind and eat the one thing she's not supposed to eat twice while everybody's telling her not to do it. That is not your fault. It's not your fault. It's like the whole hot stove analogy, but it's like you put a big blinking sign above it that you're like, hey, the stove is hot, don't touch it. This is the stove that is hot, that you know is hot, so don't. And mother-in-law is like, but I want to. And you're like, no, it's hot. And she's like, but... And then she's like, that wasn't so bad. Let me do the other hand. And she's like, why didn't you tell me it was hot? I'm sorry. I thought you as a grown-ass woman would have some kind of self-control, you dumb bizzo. Let's do it. Bizzo. In other news, now you know what her kryptonite is. Cinnamon raisin bread. Or maybe it's the raisin part of it. I don't know. You made other bread for her. And that wasn't kryptonite. It was just this one. And the fact that you, as evidence, have stated you have seen cinnamon rolls over there on the stove before. You've seen snickerdoodles in the jar, which, by the way, love snickerdoodles. I do love cinnamon. Who'd have thunk it? I just always mentally associate cinnamon on its own with the nasty cinnamon. I can't do it. This is not your fault, OP. Okay, all right. Now, mother-in-law called up her mom, of course, gave her her side of the story. That's why she's involved now, so her vote kind of doesn't count here, right? But how? How is anyone going to accept this narrative? Everybody has to understand this. Your sisters-in-law, they certainly understand. They were there. Your husband was there. He backs you up. He's like, you did everything you could. You can't stop people from being dumbasses. Dumbass gonna dumbass. Bizzo gonna biz. What are you going to do? And it's somehow your fault. I'm like, yeah, it was so nasty you ate a second slice. Yes, you have to take more drastic measures next time, OP. You have to forcefully remove it from her hands as she's trying to put it in her mouth. And if you don't make it in time and she's already got it in her mouth, dig it out. Dig it out. Perform a forceful Heimlich and make sure she does not ingest that cinnamon swirl bread.